We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it.
That boy is good.
Mm-hmm. Careful.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl Mika, and you're watching the Red Cup Podcast, where truth, pop culture, and politics meet. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Mika, and we're back for another Red Cup Talks, because this is where truth, pop culture, and politics meet. What's going on, everybody, today? It is Thursday, and we have some things to sip on. When I tell you it's so many cups full of the Democratic Party, like you cannot make it up. But first, I want to go ahead and check in with the chat. What's going on, chat? What's going on, Journey? What's going on, Shane? Shane, did you see your wrench? Do you see your wrench? Or no? Let me know. What's going on, Outlaw? What's going on, Magnetar? What's going on, Artifacts? What's going on, Q? How is everyone? It's Thursday. What's going on, Loud and Clear? What's going on, Katie? Your car? What's going on? Yeah, when I tell you, I had I had a whole other thumbnail until I saw the stuff that was on X. When I tell you it's been a day, it's been a day. So we're going to get into a lot of stuff, you guys. What's going on, you guys? You still wrenchless? I pushed it. I don't know why it didn't happen. All right. I'll check on it. What's going on, y'all? All right, you guys. We got a lot to get into. So I don't have, sometimes I have a little shots. I don't have those today because we have a lot to go over. So let's get right into it, okay? What's going on? I want to say this right. Is that Mau Mau? Mau Mau 7. What's going on? Oh, thank you, Magnetar. You like that song? I appreciate it. All right, you guys. So I wanted to kind of wait till more of you got in, but we got so much to get into. I hate sometimes YouTube and these notifications. All right, you guys. So here we go. All right. So it has been a week. We have been dealing with all the riots. We have been dealing with the back and forth of the Trump administration going against the Democrats in California. We've been going back and forth with, everybody that's been going against Donald Trump with these sanctuary cities. So today we have a lot to get into that encompass all that. Plus, we're going to do some updates on some of the stuff that we've been following, okay? But what I want to get into first is really, honestly and truly, breaking news, okay? So what is breaking news over the last couple of hours has been Senator Alex Padilla, okay? Now, what happened with Alex? Alex decided that he was going to come in Trump's America. You know how they like to say Beyonce's internet? He decided he was going to come in Trump's America, okay? This is MAGA. He decided that he was going to come in Trump's America, show up at a DHS meeting or press conference, however you want to call it, and decide that he was going to keep interrupting. And I'm telling you guys, the Democrats are effing around and finding out, all right? California has been finding out, New York has found out, and now this senator right here has found out. I want you guys to see exactly what went on, okay? Because when I tell you that this was hilarious, it was hilarious. They are all finding out that you guys can't pull that stuff that you were doing under Joe Biden, okay? Okay? Joe Biden and Kamala, this is not them, okay? This is Trump's America, okay? And you're going to find out. Here we go.
Guys, ready? And Bell, sir, hands up. I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the secretary because the fact of the matter is, a half a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your.
I also want to
Hands
know
up.
how many of our ICE agents have been shot.
On the ground. Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
If you let my hands go, and put behind my back.
All right. Cool. One hand. Lay flat. Lay flat.
Other hand, sir. Other hand.
There's no recording allowed out here. I do not know. There's no recording allowed out here for FBI, right? So what I'm sorry? There's no recording allowed out here.
Guys, ready?
All right. So to give you guys more context, again, this is U.S. Senator Alex Padilla. Okay. And he decided that he was going to interrupt Chrissy Noem's press conference at DHS to try to spew whatever he wanted to spew about ICE and what's going on in California. And he effed around and found out. Okay. Oh, no, he going to jail. Yeah, Eric, he going to jail. He going to jail. What's going on, Quick Fix? What's going on, Courtney? What's going on, Ski Report? Hey, Eric Watson. Yeah, what's going on, Victor? So he found out really quick that that's what's happening right now. Okay, we're not playing with you. Okay, MAGA knows this. This is what we voted for. We're not playing with you. This is what's going to happen if you try to interrupt while we're talking. Okay, and I say we because these people represent us. So we were talking, he interrupted, and he effed around and found out. Okay, and that's why he's on the floor. Yes, Katie. Yes. And so this is something that I think is going to be a reoccurring theme because everybody wants to try Trump. Okay. Everybody wants to be performative. The Democrats, they're at a 16% rating. Okay. Approval rating. I don't know why they want to keep going with this narrative of, well, I'll just go against Trump. For what? Like, for what? Nobody approves of this. Not even Democrats. They're not doing anything. But they think it's working. So that was what happened. Okay. Now I want to get into the newscast about what happened. Okay. So, of course, the mainstream media picked it up. And so I want to get into what the mainstream media had to say about all of this. All right. Here we go.
All right, press conference happening right now live in Los Angeles. Just moments ago, you saw Kristi Noem, Secretary of Homeland Security. Now you're listening to Todd Lyons. He's the acting ICE director. Basically, both of them defending having National Guard troops and the U.S. Marines in Los Angeles as these ICE raids carry out in the city. You also probably did see a moment, a little bit of a disruption. I'm still hearing this press conference in my ear. But moments ago, California Senator Alex Padilla, who's been totally against troops there on the ground in Los Angeles, he actually was inside that press conference and was protesting and was taken out of the room immediately. Our Selena Wang, White House correspondent, has been listening in. Also, our Jacqueline Lee is there on the ground in Los Angeles. But Selena, why don't we start with you? Because
and just to give you context, that's why, okay? As you see this news briefing here, the man interrupted the press conference that they were having. So that's the disruption that she's talking about. Okay. Alex decided to walk and mosey himself on in there because he's a congressman. Okay. For some reason, Congress people think they're not, normal people. Okay. You saw Maxine Waters, AKA Dry Wig, over there talking about, I'm Congress. I have to get in, knowing that she wasn't getting into the facility. Okay. And now you see this guy. Like, I don't understand what Congress doesn't get, but this is what they're talking about.
Clearly, the DHS secretary just not there in Los Angeles defending what's happening on the ground there. But these raids, as she pointed out, are going to continue all across the country. And we're also getting word of National Guard troops deploying in other parts of the United States. So it looks like this is going to be a part of the mission. And that is that National Guard troops will be assisting ICE as they carry out these immigration raids with no apologies.
That's exactly right. I mean, this was about defending their very aggressive deportation and immigration strategy. There was that moment you pointed out, if we can just show the footage there, which appeared to be Senator Alex Padilla, who was forcibly taken out of the room there as the president executes this very controversial strategy. But you heard Kristi Noem there sending out a warning message, the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, saying that anyone who harms a law enforcement officer, saying that they would be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. She also praised law enforcement on the ground at the protests, as well as the Marines, the National Guard. But what was also notable is that also today, President Trump acknowledged that his aggressive immigration policy is harming some sectors, including the farming industry and the hospitality industry, both of which heavily rely on immigrants, including undocumented migrants. According to the Department of Agriculture, 42% of crop farm workers lack legal status. I was earlier in the White House East Room where President Trump was giving a press conference, and he made comments about how they, quote, can't do this to the farming, to the leisure sector. He said that there would be an order soon on this, but unclear what that means. But this does here come as ICE is ramping up their deportation. Sources tell us that the White House wants to get to 3,000 arrests a day.
All right. And as we saw also during this press conference, Senator Alex Padilla, I mean, from mayors to senators to members of Congress, clearly they've been out protesting these troops there on the streets. But this was the first time we actually saw one of the senators physically removed from a press conference there as the DHS.
And he was physically removed because he interrupted a whole press conference. Like, I don't understand why he thought that he was that important. I don't understand why he thought this. Okay. However, he did, and he effed around and found out. In Trump's America, we're not doing this. You're not going to be interrupting. You can wait for Q&A like everybody else, including the media. Right? All right. So, with that being said, you knew that the Democrats were going to have something to say. However, it's who had something to say. And lo and behold, Pocahontas had something to say about everything that went on. She wasn't even there. And all of a sudden, she knows everything. She saw everything. Like, Elizabeth Warren just won't go away. I know she's a Californian, but she just won't go away. And this is what David Hogg was trying to get rid of, okay? Unfortunately, they kicked David Hogg out, the DNC. However, here is Elizabeth Warren giving her 2 cents. Okay, the Democratic Party, y'all have to get rid of all y'all crypt keepers. Y'all have to get rid of Maxine Waters. Y'all have to get rid of Nancy Pelosi, and you got to get rid of Elizabeth Warren. Here we go.
When Senator Padilla gets pushed, shoved, thrown to the handcuffed because he is asking questions, because he is engaging in the very oversight that senators are supposed to engage in, then what we're really talking about here is a Trump administration that just wants to shut down the ordinary functions of government. Look, I do a lot of oversight myself. I ask a lot of questions because that's how it works in a democracy. We use our words to hold people accountable. We don't use our fists. We don't shove. We don't try to knock people down. We use our words. That's what oversight is all about. And that's what I want to go to the floor of the Senate to talk about. I think it is time for every senator, every member of Congress, Democrat or Republican, to stand up and say what Donald Trump has done is wrong.
Did she just say that the Democrats don't use their fist? Did she really just say that? They don't use their fists. They don't fight. They don't do this and that. Since when? Didn't we just have this conversation? Aren't we talking about LaMonica? Aren't we talking about the Congress people that were down there on the streets in California, putting their bodies in between cars? What is she talking about? That's right, Eric. Yeah, Cry Me a River. Lord Jamal, yeah. Lord Jammer, you can't reason with this woman, okay? She already thinks she's an Indian. Now she thinks she's Mother Teresa because every time something happens, Elizabeth Warren has something to say. Meanwhile, she still hasn't answered the questions about Act Blue out there in California with the wildfires. And let's not even get on her campaign. But she hasn't answered that question. So until she does, I really don't want to hear from her. So that is what's happening with the breaking news with Senator, U.S. Senator from California, Alex Padilla. So you guys get down in the comments and in the chat and let me know what you think about that. Okay, I will follow up on it because I'm sure something will come of it. Because Donald Trump and this administration, one thing I can say is they're not playing around with these people. Like a lot of these people seem to think that they're going to be getting away with a lot of things. However, they're effing around and finding out that they're not getting away with none of this stuff. And I'm so happy because we spent the last 4 years just watching people do whatever they want. And I do mean whatever they want. So you guys get down in the comments and let me know what you think about that breaking news. Hey, everybody done wrote in. Miss Freckles, what's going on? Dwayne, what's going on? Give it to your 120. Wow. Well, I want to know what's behind that name. What does that mean? That's wild. Oh, but thank you for coming. What's going on, you guys? What's going on, Lord Jammer? I just want to acknowledge everybody before we get into it. What's going on, Willie? I appreciate y'all for coming in. Hey, Carrie. What's going on, Carrie Boo? Glad you could make it. What's going on? Alicia, Tyrone. All right, you guys. Let me just read the super chat. Courtney Egger Show. Thank you for the 199 super chat. Showing love. I appreciate you. Thank you. And then we have Magnetar with the $5 super chat. Driving home. Watch those federal workers. Okay. You know, they don't know how to drive. And they ain't been driving for 4 years now. All right. So be careful. All right, you guys. I want to get into something that made me smile. And that is jury counts. So if you guys don't know, LaMonica McIver, as you all know, LaMonica McIver is the representative from New Jersey who decided that she was going to go ahead and put her body on an ICE officer. And she effed around and found out in Trump's America that you cannot do that. Okay? She wanted to go and save the mayor of Newark, and she effed around and found out that you can't beat up ICE officers. You can't push, you can't shove, okay? She's like a good 2-something. You're trying to push her body weight around, and then she's doing all of this as if police do not wear cameras. They have body-worn cameras now. So I want to get into this because the jury just gave their indictment, and I want to get into it. Here we go.
Congresswoman LaMonica McIver has been indicted on 3 federal charges after a clash with federal agents outside a New Jersey ICE facility. Here to react, Missouri Senator Josh Hawley. Senator, this is the acting U.S. Attorney, Alina Habba, and this congresswoman charged with forcibly impeding and interfering with federal law enforcement faces a total of, she won't be in jail for 17 years, but conceivably it could be 17 years in prison. Senator, given what we're seeing play out on the streets of LA and what might be expanding across the country, how important is this message?
Really important, really important. It's about the rule of law. And by the way, I seem to remember, Laura, when the Democrats had Donald Trump indicted like 1 billion times on completely fake charges, they said over and over, no one's above the law. No one's above the law. Well, guess what, Dems? No one's above the law. And these are real charges because we've all seen the video. We've seen it with our own eyes. There you've got a sitting congresswoman who is assaulting, essentially, I mean, not essentially, totally, a police officer, an ICE officer, a law enforcement officer. We could see it on the tape, and we're going to see it 1 billion times because those are the facts. And if you do the crime, you had to do the time.
Mm-hmm. And that's a fact, okay? According to Letitia Respicia James up there in New York, the attorney general that, you know, got Donald Trump together with those 34 counts, all right, and made him a convicted felon and is on the way to be a convicted felon herself with all her drama. She said nobody is above the law. So if nobody is above the law, neither is LaMonica, okay? LaMonica decided that she was going to go down there and do all that nonsense. And in Trump's America, she effed around and found out. Now, this is the body cam footage that the jury saw, okay, which got her indicted. Here we go. All right, you guys. So that is the footage that got her 3 counts. Okay. And she's pleading not guilty. However, I don't know how she's pleading not guilty when it's all on tape. I really don't know. Hey, Kelly, what's going on? Yeah, I really don't know how she's pleading not guilty. But she is. But I just wanted to show you guys that. Now, with all that being said, after she got indicted, she decided, you know, to go to the China News Network, CNN, and she gave CNN the first interview after being indicted on 3 counts. Here we go.
And joining me now for her first interview since her indictment is Democratic Congresswoman LaMonica McIver of New Jersey. She, of course, serves on the House Homeland Security and Small Business Committees. Congresswoman, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Casey.
So I just want to start at, do you still plan to plead not guilty to these federal charges?
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to pleading not guilty. Look forward to my day in court. And so, I'm not guilty and really looking forward to entering that plea.
So I want to take our audiences back to what happened that day when you, 2 of your colleagues, and of course, the mayor had gone to this detention facility. And I want to put up, this is video, and I want to make sure our audiences know, this is video that was provided by the Department of Homeland Security. No doubt other angles are being pursued. But we're going to put it up on the screen here. Hopefully everyone will also be able to see the 2 of us as well. But I was hoping that you could describe from your perspective, what happened here? What was going through your mind? How would you characterize the actions that you are taking, considering what people see?
Well, first of all, we were there for an oversight visit along with my colleagues. This is something we've done in the past in New Jersey, just, miles away from another detention center that we visited before. And the situation was escalated because of Department of Homeland Security and ICE. The whole tension of this situation, the whole, people are calling it different things, rather a scuffle or, commotion that was happening. that was caused by ICE and Homeland Security. At the time, it was very confusing about what was happening. It was a very scary time for us because we were trying to figure out kind of what was happening. But at the end of the day, we were there to just do an oversight visit, which is our jobs. That's what we're supposed to be doing. And so to have that play out was something that we definitely did not expect to happen.
Right. And again, I do want to point out, you're the one in the red blazer in this video for people who may be having trouble discerning what's happening.
You guys, I was over here going off. Thank you for telling me I was muted. I was saying, that this woman was acting a fool. She was acting a damn fool. And now we're supposed to believe her over the footage. There's so many different angles, okay? So many. And they were after the New Jersey mayor. They were not after her. That's why she's indicted with assault, because they were going this way and she came behind. And this is what I'm saying. And the reason why I'm saying it like this is because you got to think the Democrats say everything that they do, it's ICE's fault. Okay. California is ICE's fault. Those riots are ICE's fault. The looting in California right now is the result of ICE. If ICE would just go away, it's the law. But when is the law, according to the Democrats, then you have things like insurrection. Then you have things like, what they say about January 6 people. And there were people that were even there on the Capitol for January 6th. And they were put in jail. Okay. DC jail was full of people that did not get due process. The Democrats like to talk about due process, but so many people from January 6th did not get due process. Okay. And then they made a big stink about letting them all go. Meanwhile, me, you, anybody from January 6th would have assaulted police officers. They go to jail. Some of them did. The ones that did assault some of the police officers, they went to jail. So I don't know why LaMonica thinks she's above it. Okay. But in Trump's America, you will pay. And she's effing around and finding out. In Trump's America, you get what you get. Okay. The jury definitely indicted her, and I'm happy about it. But I'm going to let her finish. Here we go.
Happening. You said it felt like a scary situation. Would you say that this video shows you trying to defend yourself? How would you characterize what's going on?
I mean, there was a ton of different things happening. I mean, from trying to, number one, get in to do our jobs, right? We were there to do an oversight visit. We had already been there for over an hour waiting before this whole, scenario played out. But at the end of the day, that was the number one thing that we were trying to do, was do our jobs. And the situation, once again, that occurred was all because of Homeland Security and ICE. They created this commotion where they went to, unlawfully arrest the mayor of the largest city of New Jersey. And it was so unnecessary. The confrontation was unnecessary, and it did not have to occur because, once again, we were there to just do our jobs and have an oversight visit of Delaney Hall.
When you think back to that day, do you have any regrets about how it played out?
I mean, absolutely. I wish the whole situation would have never happened. You have members showing up to do a job, to, go in and, inspect this facility. It didn't have to be like this. And I wish it would have never been like this, because they should have just allowed us to come there, have our oversight visit, and go about our business. We didn't have to have any of that. We didn't have to have any tense moments. We didn't have to have confrontation. And surely the mayor of the largest city of New York didn't need to be arrested. And so, yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is not what I think about, when I came to Congress to do my job, that I would be in the middle of, of a tense moment like this to do it. And so, absolutely, I just wish it would have never happened.
So You, when this had initially come out that this indictment was being presented, said that this was political retribution, essentially. Of course, Alina Habba being the acting district attorney overseeing this matter. Can you say a little bit more about what you mean by that? You do believe that this is political?
Here we go.
Absolutely. I mean, when Habba was assigned to be the U.S. acting attorney in New Jersey, she pledged that she would use the office to, carry out Trump's agenda to, make New Jersey red and all of these other things.
The hypocrisy. Didn't Letitia Vespuccia James say that her sole job was to make sure Donald Trump goes to jail? And now a Republican says something, I guess, similar, turn New Jersey red, whatever she said. And now that is being politically targeted. You can't make this stuff up, y'all. We can't make this stuff up. Donald Trump is not being politically targeted. When somebody literally runs a campaign and says that, and says, I'm going to be a pain in the ass. I'm going to get him. I'm going to sue him. I'm going to do all this. You guys remember that stuff. Letitia James said that. Attorney General says she's going to turn New Jersey red. And now this lady is being politically targeted. The 92% has no accountability at all.
Things that she said. And so I think it's a pattern of what we see from this administration over and over again as they are using the different agencies, under the federal government to weaponizing these agencies against people who disagree with them, critics of them, and at this point, Democratic members who are doing their jobs. And so we've seen it play out. This is a part of their agenda, which is, to me, is always based around cruelty. We've seen it over and over and over again. And I think this political intimidation that they're using on me is, they're using me as an example to try to scare other Democratic members from doing their job, hush people up, critics of theirs. And so we just constantly see this behavior playing out. And so it's definitely political. That is why this case is, so much highlighted throughout the nation right now, because, when have you pointed to a situation like this happening to a sitting Congress member who is just showing up to do her oversight job?
Girl, bye. Okay. You guys, I can't take no more of that because she's just lying. She's absolutely lying. Here's the thing. She did not just show up, okay? They knew what they were doing. They wanted to have something performative, and it went too far, okay? She tried to stay in frame, but the 92% came right up out of her, and she assaulted the officer. It is what it is, okay? The mayor didn't, okay? And he was the one getting arrested. They let him go later, all right? Because he knew better. She thought, because I'm a woman, you know what else she thought. But she thought that, and then boom, here it is. Now I can do what I want. I can say what I want. I'm a Congresswoman. How dare you say something to me? Yeah. In Trump's America, they're off around and finding out. Okay. I got to get me a little bleep so I can say the word. But they're finding out. In Trump's America, y'all not going to be able to do this nonsense. So you guys get down in the comments and let me know what you think about Miss LaMonica there, okay? What you think about her saying, well, pretty much not taking any accountability and saying that she is not guilty and it's all ICE's fault. If they had not been down there and just let them in, just like when Wig out there in California tried to get in, knowing that she wasn't going to get in, it's all performative. But they got to pay. So you guys get down in the comments and let me know what you think about that. That is the update because we have been following that story. And every turn, every time, they're like, hey, no, it's not us. It's Donald Trump. They're targeting us. Meanwhile, I've never heard of LaMonica. Okay. I don't know about you guys. Maybe some of you from New Jersey. So you may have heard of her. I've never heard of this woman in my life. But you guys go off in the comments. Okay. Let me know what you think about all of her drama and Miss LaMonica, Representative LaMonica, getting indicted. Okay. I want to go ahead and read some of these super chats. Here we go. Hey, Fannie McGee found out. Thank you, Kelly. I appreciate it. Yeah, she found out. She definitely found out. Okay. You can't be using all your weight on people. And then push that man over. Thank you. Okay. Victor Williams, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. It's always big back Tahoe. Y'all got me get my confidence with y'all. It's always big back Tahoe women with antics. Them agents were too soft on her. They need to hire me. Look, they didn't want no drama with that. Okay. That woman, she ain't nothing to be played with. She was pushing. He jerked a little bit. Okay. They weren't trying. But thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate you. All right. Chavis, here we go. Thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate it. She looked like Cedric the Entertainer. Y'all are wild. She looked like Cedric the Entertainer, with a shave, and R-Truth from WWE with the braids. What up? She do look a little bit like Cedric the Entertainer. And a little bit like Magic Johnson. But that's just my opinion. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for the $5 super chat. OJ Clinton, thank you for the $5 super chat. Recognize that your intelligence and elegance or lack thereof renders physical evidence irrelevant. You have a calling. And you heard it there first. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Chavez with the $5 super chat. Thank you again. Al Roker with half of Jasmine Minaj Crockett. See, you trying me. With half of Jasmine Minaj Crockett bust down, needs to chill. I know, no Minaj jokes. I'm trying. See, you know what it is. Thank you so much for supporting. I appreciate you. Victor Williams with the $5 super chat. She looked real handsome up there. Y'all are wild tonight. She looked real handsome up there. Big Mike's confidant. You know what? Now she handsome. And Chavis with the $2 super chat. She looks like Big Worm from Friday. Yes. You talking about Phase on Love. Y'all are wild in this chat. Thank you so much for the super chats. Oh, really quick. Shane, thank you for the $2 super chat. $2. All I got. I takes it all. Okay. I takes crypto. I takes pennies. I take pounds. I take dollars from Zimbabwe. That's about 2 trillion, which equals like $2. But I take dollars from Zimbabwe. I take them all. Thank you so much. And you guys, just to let you know, okay, today is Thursday. So I will be doing the best super chat and giving away, of course, my bald-headed reasoning mug. Okay. You guys see it? Boom. Boom. And I can sign it. I can write a message on it, whatever you want on it. Okay. And this is just my appreciation to the chat and everybody that watches me and pours it up with me. I appreciate you guys. I really do. Okay. So now I want to move on. Okay. We've talked about Miss LaMonica enough. I want to move on to what I saw the other day. Okay. And what I saw the other day just it puzzled me because I happened to see a man roll up on this protest with a truck. Okay. This man had a black truck and he rolled up on the protesters. And when I say vote up on the protesters, I do mean just vote up in the middle of the street. And everybody was just trying to see what he was doing. So the news decided that they were going to just zero in on it, right? As you can see, this is live footage. All right. He decided that he would roll up and pass out riot gear, preferably riot helmets. And they were not cheap, which leads us to believe that this is being funded, heavily funded. I want you guys to see what the news caught just the other day. And then I'll give you an update. Here we go.
describe, where it just feels like something's going to happen and you're waiting for it to happen.
Let us clarify, because we've been showing a wide shot and from a different angle, a whole lot of officers on the other side of the federal building, almost behind you, and perhaps the visual is obstructed from your point of view. But I can tell you there are many, many, many LAPD cars and officers there that have staged. They are blocking that freeway overpass, so protesters can't get on that overpass like they did yesterday and throw bricks or concrete or scooters down on law enforcement that was below that had cleared the 101 freeway. So perhaps they're not where you are, but there's a lot of them already positioned there. They're not getting caught off guard by a crowd gathered here.
So, I mean, that was quite a shot that we have there of these folks, and your photographer just gave us a great shot of the box that was left behind, which showed the brand of mask. I mean, it's not the kind of thing, thank you for seeing this there. It looks like a bionic shield is what that's called. I mean, that's not the kind of thing that you buy in bulk if you don't plan on doing something with it. And the fact that that's being handed out kind of like candy to everybody gives you an indication that these folks probably plan to be here for a while.
Now, the news said it's an indication that these folks planned on being here for a while. Oh, no, these folks planned this. Okay? You don't just roll up with riot gear or shields. Those things are expensive. Okay? And, you know, the internet likes the internet. And they found out that they were available at Walmart. Now, this is the anti-Trump rally, anti-ICE rally. And we all know that Walmart is on the receiving end of Eat the Tariffs. So that's a little tad bit conspiracy there. However, that is the man that was passing out those shields. Now, for the update, this is Trump's America. In Trump's America, y'all gonna F around and find out. Okay? FBI has found him and he has been arrested. Okay? In Trump's America, you will not, I repeat, you will not cause problems. You interrupt, you go to jail. You push ICE agents, you go to jail. You give out shields in the middle of a riot, you go to jail. Here we go.
Today we executed a search warrant on the individual who was seen earlier this week distributing face shields to suspected rioters down in Los Angeles. We have made it a huge priority to try to identify, locate, and arrest those who are involved in organizing, supporting, funding, or facilitating these riots that they're going on. It appears they're well orchestrated and coordinated and well funded. So we want to understand who these people are and where this organization is coming from. And today was one of those first arrests, the key arrests that we did. Today we executed a search warrant on the individual who was.
So as you guys can see, these people are well funded. The news said it before they even knew anything, and that's because they're not stupid. And now you have the FBI saying it, okay? The FBI is looking into this. So it goes to show you that clearly it's being well funded. It was well funded last time. The live stream on Tuesday, I showed you guys the bricks, okay? It was well funded in 2020. I don't understand why it wouldn't be well funded this time. And now you even have this weekend where Trump is doing his parade. You have these rallies all around the country called No King's Day. Like, it's absolutely stupid. Like, liberals are absolutely like nuts. Okay. Because at the end of the day, it's a military parade. Everybody here in America is just so unpatriotic. They're so unpatriotic. Like, I don't understand why everybody is so unpatriotic. But yet, you want to be here. You don't want to leave. You want to be here. You want to get all the social benefits from the social programs. But you don't like America. I never understand it. I've never understood it. And that's how it is, honestly and truly. Correct, Shane. It's the Army's birthday. Well, in 250 years. 250 years. Why aren't we celebrating that? Right? They'll say, oh, well, it's because the United States doesn't have a good history. What country does? Just like they're making this argument too that California belongs to Mexico. Well, Mexico used to belong to somebody else too before it became New Spain. And it wasn't taken. They fought and then they still had to pay. Yes, America had to pay Mexico for all of that land. Sound like a purchase to me? Yeah. At the end of the day, this is what the left is doing. This is what the left is doing. So you guys get down in the comments and let me know what you guys think about this gentleman here. He thought he was going to get away. California is a police state. I don't know why people keep acting like California is not a police state where there's cameras everywhere. That's why I don't understand how they can't solve this Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez case, but I digress. There's cameras everywhere. They caught him. Look, he had his little mask down, and now he's in the back of the paddy wagon. And trust me, they're going to interrogate that man, if not waterboard him. So you guys get down in the comments and let me know what you think about that, because that is wild. Okay, I'm telling you, it's wild. Oh my gosh, let me read this quick super chat, and then we're gonna move on. Magnificent Gaming with the $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Damn, Mika, you're so fine. Is you AI? No, but I wish I did have an AI. Because I would record this in like 2 seconds. I'll be putting out so much content if like I could have another person sit here. But thank you for the $2 super chat, and thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. No, I wish, because it's a lot. Researching, doing this, doing that. When you got to do videos, you got to find time to do content creation. You guys, is not easy. All right. And then sometimes you even have things written down, you still forget. And I've only been at this a couple of months. Okay. I've been doing all, entertainment, music, all that my entire life. So content creation is a whole other monster. But it's working out because we had 1 million views. And I want to thank you guys for that. If you haven't seen it, I posted on the community tab about the 1 million views. I appreciate every last one of y'all. I thank you guys for watching and watching and watching and watching. Y'all watch my growth from when I was sitting at my desk trying to figure it out on my little camera to now here we are, and we're just going to keep getting better, okay? And we're going to have some interviews coming up. We're going to do a lot of things this summer, so I can't wait. But that's my little rant on that. So thank you for the $2 super chat. I appreciate it. What's going on, Vox? Okay, what's going on, Azrael? All right, you guys. So now I want to get into, I don't know if I really care about these people, but I do care about what's going on. I want to get into these governors, okay? And we're going to start with Kathy, the governor of New York State, all right? They were at Congress today. They were at Congress. I don't know. I really honestly and truly don't know what these hearings are for. Nobody ever goes to jail. Everybody lies. And I thought it was, perjury and a jailable offense to lie to Congress. Meanwhile, every Democrat does it. Fauci lied. Okay. What's his name? General Kelly lied. Comey lied. All these people lie. Oh, the police from January 6th lie. Okay. All of them. And they do it knowing that nothing is going to happen. So I don't even know why we have these hearings. Like, if Donald Trump really wants to impress me, cut out all this rigmarole. If they're not going to jail, we don't need to have hearings. We don't need to have a committee where Jasmine Crockett can sit up there and swing her wig all day and sit up there and type with those long nails and tap, her little pencil that she likes to scratch her head with. We don't need it. It's a waste of our money. It's a waste of our tax dollars. Okay. However, they had it today, and Kathy Hochul was number one when it came to asking questions. Okay. And as I just said, they all lie. And Kathy was no different. I want you guys to see Kathy Hochul being questioned about cooperating with ICE when she said she wouldn't. She said it was a sanctuary state, and now all of a sudden she said she would cooperate with ICE. You can't make this stuff up. These people are liars. However, let's get into it. Here we go.
Thank you. Governor Hochul, on your first day in office, you signed Executive Order 1. Is that correct?
I believe it is.
And you extended this executive order not once, not twice, but 3 times, most recently January 16th of this year. Is that correct?
If that's what your facts show, I signed countless executive orders.
I would
and
assume you'd
policies
know
and
it's
laws.
Executive Order 1. And this is a continuation
Not number
of your
one.
predecessor's sanctuary state policies, correct? Is included in that.
I want to be sure we are defining sanctuary state
I'll
properly.
define it for you. It is the policy of the state that state officers or employees shall not disclose information to federal immigration authorities for the purpose of federal civil immigration enforcement. It goes on to say law enforcement officers may not use resources, equipment, or personnel for the purpose of detecting and apprehending any individual suspected or wanted for violating a civil immigration office. Law enforcement officers have no authority in the state of New York to take any policy action solely because the person is an undocumented alien. That's a quote in your executive orders that you extended. Now, do you know who Sakir Akan is?
I want to get back to the first part.
No,
of
I'm
the
asking a question. Do you know who
Well,
Sakir Akan is?
I want to make sure you understand that this simply says that we will cooperate with ICE.
No, it does
in
not
all-
say that. I read what it
We will
says, and let me talk to you about the results. Do you know who Sakir Akan is? You should, as the governor of New York State. Do you know?
She don't know. Come on.
Refresh my recollection.
He was an illegal migrant in New York. And do you know what crime he committed in addition to being here illegally?
No, I do not.
You do not. This was widely reported. He found a 15-year-old girl, threatened her with a metal pole, told her to get into the back seat of his car. He took her clothes off, and he violently raped her in Albany, New York. Do you know who Sebastian Zapita Khalil is?
I'm sure you'll tell me there's many cases,
Ooh,
whether they're
these are high-profile cases. New Yorkers know about them, and you don't. So let's talk about Sebastian Zapita Khalil. Do you know who that is?
I don't have the specific details at my disposal, no.
Well, this is an illegal migrant in New York because of your sanctuary state policies. Do you know what crime he committed?
I'm not familiar at this moment.
I bet you're going to be familiar when I remind you. He found a sleeping woman on the subway, lit her on fire, and burned her alive.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is in Kathy Hochul's New York. And as I'm sure you are aware, and I'll remind you, that ICE issued an order to detain this violent criminal, but that was rejected by New York officials due to sanctuary state laws. Now, do you know who Raymond Rojas Basilio is?
I just want to say this. These crimes are horrific.
Because of
condemn them. And I
your
would say
sanctuary state policies.
In all of these cases, we would work with ICE to remove
You did
them.
not in this case. They are
They need
walking
our
on the
assistance.
streets because of your policies and your executive order that you signed 3 times. Now, Raymond Rojas Basilio, do you know who that is?
I'm telling you this. I will
You don't know
explain to
who
you
it
the
is.
policies of New York. We cooperate with, I know you're just
You do
trying
not.
to.
You do not. Specifically, ICE was told not to detain this individual, and he burned a woman alive on the New York subways in Kathy Hochul's New York. So I will keep on going. What about Raymond Rojas Basilio? Do you know who that is?
I'm going to tell you our overall policy, which will address all this.
I'll tell
We
you
do
who
not-
that is. He is an illegal who molested an 11-year-old in our state because, again, of your sanctuary state policies. This illegal was shielded from federal immigration enforcement and able to commit this heinous crime.
Wow.
And what about Wilson Castillo Diaz? Do you know who that
I'm
is?
telling you this. We do cooperate fully with ICE in criminal prosecution. Our sanctuary
You're not advocating for
regulations
these victims.
only deal
This
with
is a
civil
5-year-old who
enforcement.
was raped
Civil
on Long
enforcement.
Island in Nassau County. You are not advocating on behalf of these victims. You are shielding illegals. Even in your opening statement,
That is
you
not true.
prioritize putting illegals first.
That is not
Rapes
true.
of young girls, beatings of NYPD cops by
Damn.
illegals who are here under Kathy Hochul's failed policies, burning New Yorkers alive. This is Kathy Hochul's New York. It's one of the many reasons why you're hemorrhaging support from hardworking New York
These are
families.
horrific crimes, and they're heartbreaking.
They're horrific crimes that are committed on your watch. You signed this executive order on your first day in office. You signed it again and again this January. We deserve a governor who stands up for law-abiding New Yorkers, doesn't put illegals first, but actually puts New Yorkers first.
She ate her up. When I tell you she did all of that, she did all of that. And that's exactly what this woman deserves, okay? This is the same woman, you know, and I say this with so much sincerity. I cannot stand liberals, let alone white feminist liberals, okay? The white feminists, they are absolutely annoying, okay? They're so passive aggressive, okay? They're really racist. Because this is the same woman just a couple of months ago said that, you know, black kids in the Bronx don't know what the word computer is. I lied to you not. That's what she said verbatim. Okay. Like, this is what they do. And then they come back and act like they pretty much never did anything. Okay. I'm telling you. Hey, what's going on, Anton? Hold on, I see Anton. What Anton do? Oh, okay. I see it. Thank you so much for, oh my gosh, $499.99. Thank you so much, Anton Daniels. And you guys, you can see me also this evening, okay, from 10 o'clock to whenever. You know, we stay up late on After Hours with Anton Daniels. Thank you so much, Anton. I appreciate you. Come here in a couple of months and just dropping a bomb. Thank you. You guys check us out, you know, on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays over there at the Anton Daniels After Hours. Thank you, Anton. I kept saying Anton. I'm like, what happened? Yes, the bag chasers are in the building. What's going on, Lucid Experience? Thank you again, Anton. Thank you to everybody who super chats. Okay, I told you guys I appreciate it. Like, I really do. All right, but let's get back into it. All right, so yeah, that was Kathy Hochul's response. Okay, Kathy is just, yeah, is what it is. So let's get into the next governor they had on the list, because they invited all of the governors, okay? When I say they were going down the list, they were going down the list, okay? Now, we just watched Kathy get tore apart. Let's watch our favorite, Tim Walz, okay? Tim Walz, y'all was about to put this man in office. Y'all were about to make this man vice president. This was going to be the representative of masculinity. I blame men. Y'all know I'm for men's rights and all this other stuff. It is Men's Health Month. Okay. It's Men's Health Month. So you guys get checked out. However, I blame y'all for this. Okay. Had men kept masculine frame, had you kept your lefty brothers in check, we would have not gotten, we wouldn't have gotten Tim Walz. But that's what we got. And now we have to continuously hear this man. It's your fault. Big Happy Molly not here to say it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Tim Rugrats. Y'all are wild. So Tim Walz was one of the governors that had to, you know, go ahead and testify at Congress. And Tim Walz decided that he doesn't know what a woman is. You can't make this stuff up. But yet he's telling me that he's masculine and that he would have been able to get the men over to the Democratic Party because he knows how to shoot like Elmer Fudge and he drinks root beer. I lied to you not. This is Tim Walz's response at Congress. Here we go.
What is a woman? What is a woman is the question.
I'm not sure I understand the question here.
That.
What do you want me to say? This is.
I want you to say that a woman like me is an adult human female, that men can't become women. You guys are the party of violence, and you're the party erasing women. You don't respect us. You're a bigot. You're a misogynist. You're a sexist. Mr. Chairman, I yield back. What is a woman?
What? How does this happen? How is it that he doesn't know what a woman is? And I agree with her 100%. I tell everybody, when you guys say that men can be women, that is misogyny. That is misogyny, because now you're saying that these people who want to be women know what it is to be a woman without being a woman. That's misogyny. Okay. When I see a trans woman tell me that me and them are the same, yeah, that's misogyny to me. That's the textbook definition. A man telling a woman exactly what a woman is. So you put on a wig and you put on lipstick and you put on heels, which used to be just cross-dressing, but now it's actually a woman. Like, you can't make this up. That's why I love Flame Monroe. Okay, Flame Monroe is a transgender that just keeps it real. Flame Monroe does whatever, whatever she wants to do over there. But anytime they ask about women's sports, anytime they ask about are women and men the same, Flame Monroe tells the truth. And that's what I'm tired of. I'm tired of not hearing the truth. It's wild. The Democrats at every point, whether it's immigration, whether it's trans issues, whether it's pedos and children, all this stuff, they want us to actually pretend like we don't see what we see. Okay, whether it's LaMonica and her fupa, she pushed that man. We saw it. And Tim Walz is no different. And he sat up here and was on this thing lying. Okay, he said at the hearing, just lying, just like Kathy Hochul did. And it didn't stop there. Oh no. It didn't stop there. I want you guys to continue to see what Elmer Fudge, aka Tim Walz, had to say during his hearing. Here we go.
Work with law enforcement to enforce the law. In May 2020, looting, acts of violence, and arson occurred on your watch in Minneapolis after you refused to bring in the National Guard. Governor, your agenda is clear. Free healthcare, free college and driver's licenses for illegals while handcuffing law enforcement when they're trying to protect our citizens and their communities. If you think that's not a sanctuary state, you shouldn't be governor. By turning Minnesota into a magnet for illegals, you have opened up our communities to dangerous criminals, including known terrorists, gang members, murderers, and child predators. You have sent a resounding message that if you're a hardworking, law-abiding citizen of Minnesota, your safety and well-being are not the priorities of Tim Walz and his administration. But if you're coming to our state illegally, you're not only welcome with open arms, you're entitled to free stuff on the taxpayer's dime. This is absolutely disgraceful. Governor Walz, your sanctuary state agenda has been defined by your utter failure. You have failed to enforce the rule of law. You have failed to uphold our national sovereignty. And most importantly, you have failed the people of Minnesota. The time for radical sanctuary state policy, sir, is over. The voters made that clear last November when they elected President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance. You remember him, don't you? Governor, the time for real leaders and real leadership is now. And with that, sir, actually, Mr. Chairman, I ask unanimous consent to introduce into the record the governor's tweet that I referenced from May 23rd, 2018, which makes it clear his hatred for federal law enforcement. Thank you.
Without objection, so ordered.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes. Chair recognizes Mr. Mfume.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. I have a unanimous consent request, and I'd like to present.
Why does Governor Walz look like he gets beat at home? He looks defeated. That man looks defeated. Look at his face. He looks defeated. He's like a white Norbert. Okay. And Rasputia is upstairs. He looks defeated. Look at him. It's wild. Like, I've never seen such an emasculated man in my life. I almost feel bad for him. Almost. He's definitely emasculated. However, I guess everybody knew that Waltz just wasn't going to fight back. The knucklehead had absolutely nothing he could say. Okay. And so since the knucklehead couldn't say anything, they kept beating him up. And Miss Luna here, she was just like the rest of them. And if you don't know who Miss Luna is, she's actually the representative that is doing the Tory Lanez case. Okay. That dropped a dime on Megan Thee Stallion. You can't make this stuff up. Here we go.
USAID through the last administration that's then funneled into some of these nonprofits and organizations. So I guess my question for you guys is, now that I've made you aware that these riots are not about illegals and they're not about immigrants, if they did, they would have been protesting under Barack Obama, who's also dubbed the deporter-in-chief. And frankly, I think many of you would say that Barack Obama was a good president. Are you going to say that Barack Obama wasn't a good president? Yes or no, Governor Waltz? Do you think he was a good president?
Do I think Barack Obama was
Correct.
president? I think he did a good job.
Okay, how about you, Governor Pritzker?
I think he did a good job.
Hochul?
Hochul, and yes, he did do a good job.
Okay, next. Perryman?
I think President Obama did a good job.
So then you would understand that Barack Obama had the very same policies for the most part on immigration that Republicans are parroting today. And yet you guys are sitting here saying that we're Gestapo. And what I would tell you is that what happens with open borders is that the real people that are coming here, the ones that are exploited, actually it hurts people on both sides, not just Americans, but the illegals. Some of you had said here to the actual committee that you are doing what you can to assist these people. But what I would say is that your policies aren't actually done from a place of understanding and sympathy. I would say that it's actually doing the exact opposite. And when you use brown people, just like they use black people with BLM and Marxists during BLM to usher that in, when you use brown people and you put Mexican flags with them saying that you stand up for illegal immigrants, but you follow the money and it's going back to the Communist Party, what you're essentially doing is using your platform as elected officials, the trust that the American people have put in you, essentially to usher in communism. You're not actually fighting for American values. Don't roll your eyes, because it's a serious topic and that's where the money's coming from. So now I'm informing you, so now you guys can make your decisions, but please be informed, sir, Mr. Walls, that if you truly do uphold the American ideologies and perspectives on the Constitution, you should not be speaking at that rally. I've given you the correct information, and as of right now, I've authorized a letter to be sent to my office to the President of the United States to rescind millions of dollars in funding that we know are going to the No Kings protests that were authorized and basically given under the last administration. That is what Congress is supposed to do, not point fingers, not blame people, but actually ensure that the American people are protected and not fighting for foreign interests, foreign governments, and also the communist.
Will the gentlelady yield for a question?
Would the gentlelady come up for air? But she cooked. She cooked. She told her, and don't roll your eyes. I know who she was talking to. She was talking to Kathy. Kathy don't do anything but roll her eyes. However, this is what we need. In Trump's America, they are effing around and finding out. Okay? We got all the receipts. We got all the receipts. So they're finding out right now that Trump is not playing with them. Okay? And then you got these people like this who are like the watchdogs who really wanted to get at him anyway. Oh, they're going to get at him. This is what we're doing. And I love it. I absolutely love it. Donald Trump is making sure that this does not happen again. Okay. So in this next 4 years, I don't care how fast it goes. I want Donald Trump to keep going and going and going and going and going. Okay. I want him to keep going. Because when I tell you that the American people are behind you, we're behind you. Get them out of here. Okay. Get the illegals out. Give us our money back. If you can get rid of the IRS, please. However, lower these taxes, pass this bill, pass the big, beautiful bill. Yeah. What's the problem? Inflation is low. Eggs aren't high anymore. Gas is good. Energy is like, this is a great time to be alive. I swear to goodness. And it's a great time to see change, like real change, like somebody that actually is doing what they said they were going to do for the American people. So yeah, I'm with it all the way, 100%. And they are so mad that a lot of the American people, we're fine with it. They're so mad about it. I can care less. You guys, let me get into these super chats before I get into the last governor here. All right, Shane, thank you for the $2 super chat. I appreciate it. Here's $2 more because AD made me. Thank you, Shay. I appreciate it. Y'all are wild in this chat. I appreciate y'all though. Thank you. Oh, Travis with the $2 super chat. Tamu, Bob Barker's down there. The price is wrong. You know what? Y'all got jokes. I thought I had jokes. Y'all got jokes. Y'all got some serious jokes today. I got you. I see what y'all doing. I know what y'all doing. Y'all think y'all slick. All right. So Pritzker, okay, Governor Pritzker, he was the last one to go. All right. You know him. One Tubby. Yeah, Governor Pritzker. He was the last one to go. I want you guys to see what they had to say, meaning the Republicans had to say to Pritzker. Okay. Here we go.
Here in Governor Pritzker's Illinois, a previously deported illegal alien who had re-entered the country was allegedly drunk driving near the University of Illinois when he struck a car sitting at a red light and then fled the scene. The crash killed 2 young women, including Katie Abraham, whose father and stepmother are here today. This is her poster. Katie had her whole life ahead of her, cut off in an instant. Governor Pritzker, this illegal alien should never have been here. He didn't just flee the scene. He fled the state and was apprehended by federal marshals in Texas using a false name. He now faces criminal charges for reckless homicide, leaving the scene of an accident resulting in death, and driving under the influence resulting in death. And he faces a federal indictment for having a fraudulent permanent resident card, a fraudulent Social Security card, and a fraudulent use of passport. Governor Pritzker, do you agree that this illegal alien who killed Katie should never have been in the United States in the first place?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First, let me express my condolences to the family. And those are terrible circumstances. Let me also say that anyone who commits a crime in the state of Illinois.
I understand, Governor. Should that criminal have been here in the first place? Did he have a right to be in this country illegally?
Here we go.
If the person is a criminal of any sort, then they ought to be.
So that person had a right to be in the United States.
They ought to be given their due process rights, and they ought to be convicted. And
the criminal who entered this country illegally, in your testimony, had a right to be in this country.
No, I'm suggesting to you that when and I have responsibility for the state of Illinois, I can tell you that it's the responsibility of the federal government to manage immigration in this country. And if you're suggesting that the federal government didn't do its job, that is up to you.
Let me ask you this, Governor.
I can tell you that in the
do you
state
believe
of Illinois,
do you believe that President Biden did his job in securing the border?
I was critical of things that President Biden did.
That's not what he
I've
asked.
been very public.
See, they always talk about the Republicans, right? They say, oh, you're not answering the question. Usually they don't give them time. But he didn't answer it at all. What's going on, Slimmy? Yeah, he didn't answer it at all. Not one bit. And no, he thinks that illegal aliens should have been allowed in. He should go to jail. But he should have been allowed in. Yeah. They want peaches that bad. They want landscaping that bad. You know what they want. They want seats. They want the census to be inflated by numbers of people that aren't citizens. But yeah, that's what he thinks. This is sad. This is absolutely sad. Most of the time, I'm just hearing babies being affected, meaning children, young children being affected by these people. Okay, and in my video the other day, I showed you guys that Mexico didn't even want illegal immigration. Okay. The El Salvadorians, they didn't like the Hondurans. They didn't like Cubans, Haitians, all of that. They were like, yo, get them out of here. Get them out of here. Where's Trump? But yet America has to deal with this, and everybody sees it, but we're just supposed to keep dealing with it. It's so asinine. Like, it's ass backwards. But we're just supposed to keep dealing with it. And then he had the nerve to say, well, if the federal government doesn't do his job, who? Sleepy Joe? We know he didn't do his job. Everybody knows he didn't do his job. Okay? And Jill ain't had time. She was running the country. Okay? So with that being said, at the end of the day, nobody was doing anything. We know Kamala ain't do nothing. Okay? Kamala was over there practicing her fan dance or something. Kamala wasn't doing anything. So yeah, whoever ran the country just ran it into the ground. And that's why these governors were there testifying at Congress, because they have these sanctuary cities where they allowed these people to just stay. And they drain resources, and they drain the tax dollars. They drain the classrooms. Okay? Regular children have problems. The special education classes are full, or as the bag chasers call it, room 9. Those classes are full, but now you have to put in these children who come and they speak not a Spanish dialect, they speak dialects like Mayan, okay, or other dialects from the Yucatan. The Yucatan is in Mexico, where the Mayans and the Aztecs were. Okay, so I'm just saying, who's supposed to do this? We are, when Mexico doesn't even want to deal with it. Why are we fighting the president on this? Okay, if you want to be here, there's a legal process. How have you been here 50 years and you haven't done something? It is wild to me. It's wild. But that's what we're dealing with, you guys. That is exactly what we're dealing with. So, you guys, I want to go ahead and get into this last one from JD Pritzker. Okay? Because these people are wild. Here we go.
Thank you, Governor Pritzker.
I find it hard to believe that you're lecturing us
Yes or
about
no?
peaceful protest. Look at what
Yes or
happened
no?
January 6th here at the Capitol.
No, what we're
The
seeing in
attack
LA
on
is
our
an
democracy.
insurrection. You want to talk about
That
an
is an
insurrection? This is an
insurrection.
absolute insurrection.
You don't
They are-
understand what insurrection
I
is
asked
when
you a
people
yes
are
or
trying to
no
overturn
question,
an
sir,
election
and
here
I'm
at
showing,
the Congress.
I started this off
You
showing
were
you
here.
the
They were
forum, and I would
attacking you, by
respect
the way.
the same. I would expect the same.
I'm answering your question. It is outrageous.
it-
that you are asking
Is
us
it
these
peaceful to
when you're the one condoning
to
pardoning
destroy
of people who attack
private and
police
government property?
right here at our
Governor
Capitol.
Hochul, Governor Hochul. Thank you, Governor Pritzker.
So, you guys, she called it an insurrection, and he got upset. Okay, Pritzker got upset and said, "Oh, this is not an insurrection." And January 6th, this, January 6th, that. I'm so sick of talking about January 6th. Okay, I'm so sick of talking about it because they don't really tell the truth. They lie about it, and it was years ago. Meanwhile, we have the Tesla bombing. We have Luigi. Okay, we have the people throwing Molotov what is it called? Molotov cocktails, whatever. The bombs. We have people doing that. We have people looting. We have all of that going on right now. Okay. We have George Soros funded protest. We have all of these things going on. And they want to still talk about January 6th. It's like if you had an ex-girlfriend and the ex-girlfriend still wants to talk about the one time you cheated. Meanwhile, she cheats every weekend just to get you back. It's time to let it go. Like, you got to let it go. You have to. And that's what we're doing with the Democratic Party. We're letting them go. Okay? The Democratic Party is at this point obsolete, right? They don't have any policies, no procedures, no game plan. They're not talking about anything. I've yet to hear an actual politician on the Democratic side come up with real solutions. I haven't heard it. I really haven't. Maybe you guys have. I have not heard it. You guys let me know. Have you heard anything? Real solutions? I haven't heard anything. Yeah, at the end of the day, this is what's going on. Okay. We have a government that without Donald Trump has gone rogue. There's nothing but traitors. There's nothing but socialists, because everything is socialism and communism at this point with the Democratic Party. And that's what we're doing. If we don't keep Donald Trump and friends in, we're going to get communism and socialism. This weekend's rally here in DC and around the country is funded by communists and socialists. Some people think it's going to be, it's going to be sweet to have socialism. They don't want socialism. And we know we don't want communism. So at the end of the day, the American people have to wake up. Fortunately, there are good Americans like us, okay, who fight for others that are just too stupid, unfortunately. But at the end of the day, some of them are American. And so we got to do what we got to do, because this is our country. And for people who want to disrupt, like the Congress people here, okay, or the governors here, they will F around and find out. The senator, he's going to F around and find out. All right. George Soros funded people that want to give out shields. They're going to F around and find out. LaMonica, she's going to F around and find out. All of them. Because this is Trump's America, and we don't go for that. So you guys get down in the comments and let me know what you thought about this whole episode of just nonsense, of people having to find out that this is Trump's America. And this is what we're doing. We're not doing this nonsense. We're not doing any of this. We're actually going to have a functioning government, okay? Not an auto pen, a functioning government. We're actually going to have people that do their jobs, okay? If you were elected or appointed, you need to do your job. Not be an activist. Do your job, okay? F around and find out. Let me read these last super chats, and then I will get to the cup. Here we go. Gary S., thank you so much for the $10 super chat. My family and I rock with you, Mika. Great show. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I appreciate you guys also sticking with me through getting better, okay? Because I'm telling you, it is hard doing content creation. It's very hard, all right? But I love it. So thank you for the $10 super chat. And shout out to your family. Eric Watson, hey. Some people win cars, vacations, or the lottery, but I shall win me a Mika mug. I sips the finest coffee in that thing. You already know, been rocking with you since day one. Ooh. Thank you so much, Eric. Aww. Aww. Courtney Smith, $2 super chat. Thank you. I appreciate you. All Dems have is fear mongering. Yes, all they have is fear mongering because they don't have any policies, procedures. They don't make any. All they do is yell all day. All they have is the 92% who wants the victim blame. All they have is the white liberal women who want to talk about how they're not getting anything. Meanwhile, they're the main beneficiaries of DEI. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make it up. Thank you, Courtney. I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone here. I really do. Thank you so much. All right, you guys. The winner of the Bald-Headed Reasoning Cup this week, all right, is Mr. Chavez. Thank you, Chavis, for always super chatting. Thank you for always chatting. Thank you for always being engaged. Thank you very much. Thank you for sipping on a red cup, even though you like to talk about Nicki Minaj. Okay, but I'll let that slide. However, this is the cup that I'm going to send you. All right. And if you want something special written on it, let me know. However, go ahead and email me. If you don't know my email, just look on the main page, okay, or my channel, or you can DM me over at the Red Cup on Instagram. You can DM me and just send me whatever address you want me to send it to. If it's out of the country, let me know. I gotta look at that shipping. However, let me know your address, your full name, or whoever's full name that you want me to send it to. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Outlaw. I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yep. So I will be doing this every week until I'm out of them. Okay. So I appreciate everybody here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Like when I tell you, I can't say it enough. I can't say it enough. So let me do my roll call. Thank you, Azrael. Thank you, Shadow Dragon. Thank you, Anton. Thank you, Magnetar. Thank you, Chavis. Thank you, Loud and Clear. Thank you, Quick Fix. Thank you, Shadow Dragon. Thank you, James. Thank you, Losowe. Thank you, Journey. Thank you, Yukar. Thank you, Shane. I think I said Shane, but thank you, Shane. Thank you, Big Happy. Thank you, Quick Fix, Katie, James Robinson. The Ski Report. Thank you very much. Okay. Crypto, Trace, Kelly, Miss Freckles, Willie. Who else we got in the building? Courtney, thank you. Ian. Who else we got? Qtar, Jennifer, thank you so much, Mama. Katie. Ooh, y'all was chatting. Eric Watson, thank you. DeAndre. Oh, y'all was chatting today. Slimmy, thank you so much. Oh, man. I'm just looking at all these chats. Y'all was chatting. Thank you, Loud and Clear. Wow. Thank you, Elisa. You guys, I appreciate you all. I think I got everybody. Thank you, Keisha. Thank you, Next Phase. Yeah, I think I got everybody. Bread and butter. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you, Renz. All right, you guys. So if I missed your name, I apologize. I will get it. And thank you to Mike That Dude on Cash App. He definitely always looks out. So thank you so much. I appreciate your Cash App. Again, every week we're going to give away a Bald-Headed Reasoning mug until they're all gone. And then we'll do something else. All right. You guys, thank you so much for rocking with me. And it's your girl, Mika, and I'm out. Peace.